Hey everybody, Juan here, welcome back to the channel. For this video, let's talk about PlayStation Now, but I'm not here to talk about the usual PS Now, where you go to your PS4, you download the service, you subscribe to it. Some people don't know that PlayStation Now is actually available on PC. That's right. You can play games like Blood-Borne, some of the Uncharted games, some of the God of War games on your computer, whether it be a gaming PC, or even a simple laptop. So in this video, I'm going to be showcasing PS Now for PC, going over the details of the service, which the main thing, unlike Xbox Game Pass that has a separate library from the PC side of things and the console, here, when you subscribe to the PlayStation Now service, whether you play games on the PS4 or on PC, you have the exact same library. The difference on PC though is that you can only stream games. So don't think that you're gonna download Uncharted 3 and play it on your PC. You are gonna stream it. So make sure you have a pretty stable internet connection, preferably wired, because you can do all of this wireless, but let's be honest, it is not the best experience. But before we begin this journey, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit on that notifications bell, go down to the comment section and be honest with me, I won't tell. Did you even know that PlayStation Now was available on PC? And if not, are you tempted to subscribe to maybe check out some of these PlayStation exclusives on your PC? So just to recap, what is PlayStation Now? It is a gaming subscription service where for a fixed fee, you get access to a select library of video games that range from the PS2 via some remasters all the way to some PlayStation exclusives on the PS4. Now on console, you can download some games and you can stream some. The service costs $9.99 a month, $24.99 every 3 months, or you get the biggest bang for your buck at $59.99 a year. The key thing about PlayStation Now for PC is that in order to play it in an unmodified way, let's say it, you need to make sure you have a PlayStation 4 or a PS3 controller, even though that one's not compatible with all the games, but it does technically work. You connect this via USB to your computer. This is my cable. It's seen better days, but it gets the job done. If you already have a PSN account, or even most importantly, if you're already subscribed to PS Now, all you have to do is download the app, log in with your account information, and you're good to go. Now getting to a couple of technical details, because we want to make sure that it runs on your computer, these are the minimum specs that Sony suggests you have, so you can play PS Now on your PC. Now keep in mind, minimum is like barely running. It's like technically it works on your computer. Now these right here, those are the recommended specs, and these right here, on my face, these are my specs. So I have a gaming PC, I should have no problem using this whatsoever. I have played PS Now for multiple hours before I even hit record on this video, and I gotta say that it runs really well. I have an Ethernet cable plugged directly to my computer, which I have 200 megabits download and 20 megabits up. Now they suggest around 5, but I'll be perfectly honest in saying that your mileage may vary wildly. I've had days where it connects tremendously, and I play games and I honestly forget that I'm even streaming them, and then some other days I'm like, oh, I have a friendly reminder. And now let's show you the service once the app boots up. After showing you the initial game, I'm going to be showing you a highlight reel of different games running on my computer. So this right here is my computer running PS Now. This is the entire app, which doesn't look that different from the version on PlayStation 4, but it's still kind of weird to be on my PC and see a couple of PlayStation exclusives. You see that they have things divided by genre, but then eventually they have so many games. We're talking about hundreds upon hundreds of games, so there's no way I can get to all of them, but you can see it even goes alphabetically. But I get the feeling that anybody that would consider subscribing would do it mainly for the PlayStation 4 exclusives. So here we have Blood-Borne. You just hit the start button. You can add it to your list because they do have so many different games that it is nice they have that option. I'm not going to cut any of this off, just so you actually see the entire experience. While this loads, I have had scenarios where I've needed to replug the controller because it doesn't detect it, and oddly enough, even when I do actually disconnect it, it says, hey, controller disconnected. So I don't know what's happening, but it just takes a quick second to fix that. I've also had other scenarios where it does tell me that my internet connection is not running all that great. So the controller thing actually happened, so I needed to do this. I forgot that I hadn't actually played Blood-Borne on PS Now, but I did play it on my PS4. So I can actually copy my save data because I'm subscribed to PlayStation Plus. Now, plus way too many services. But my wife is currently on her computer. I just told her I'm recording, but I'm making sure that she is able, whether she's using Netflix or anything else, I don't want her to stop that, because I don't think any of us are going to be in a situation where we say, hey, honey, I'm going to play Blood-Borne, so shut down everything, shut the lights off, shut the car off for that matter. I'm going to play me some Blood-Borne. But you can see that not only did this boot pretty quickly, I was able to copy my save data from my regular PS4 over here. So this also answers the question, as I gotta lower the volume, of what happens if I started a game in one thing, can I transfer it to another? The answer is yes. Likewise, you can hypothetically play on PC and transfer it to the PS4. Now this right here is Blood-Borne running on my computer. Now I'm gonna say, and be perfectly real, it looks a little blurry. The one main sacrifice you are going to make when you play games on PlayStation Now is that it streams at 720p. So it doesn't matter if a game is 1080, Pi, whatever, it's going to run it at 720p. But in case you're curious, I'm actually going to change my camera, make it a little bit bigger, because you may be wondering, so Juan, what's the delay like? Here's me pressing up, back, up, back, up, back. Here's me pressing the shoulder button. Here's me pressing the other shoulder button. Blood-Borne is a very time-sensitive game, right? Where it's all about dodging, attacking at the very perfect moment. And honestly, it is running super fine. Dare I say, I've had a better time using PlayStation Now on my PC than I have on my PS4. Now, obviously, on the PS4, I can download this game, so that's going to be the ultimate advantage. But despite that difference, say you don't have a PS4, you don't care to buy a PS4, especially now that the PS5 is going to be just around the corner, but you want to play games like Blood-Borne, you can do that right now. So say you finish playing Blood-Borne and you want to play something else, all you got to do is press the PlayStation button and you get a couple of options. Vibration, save data management, if in case you want to transfer something, or you can simply close the game. And just like that, you're back. You press back here, and you play your next game. Now, I've used the service for over a month on my PC, so I wanted to give you a chance to check out different games running on the service, starting with Motorstorm Apocalypse for the PS3. I chose this game first because I had used it as part of my original review for PlayStation Now for PS4, so that way I was able to compare. Now, I'm not going to say that it is a better experience, but it is not a worse experience. I think racing games are very challenging for a streaming service because if the input is just a little bit off, it gets very confusing. I think that the game, much like Blood-Borne, looked a little bit muddy, but with Blood-Borne, because I'm not driving a car, I did not mind any possibility of a delay, while here I honestly just wasn't having a lot of fun. I did play multiple races just to see if I got used to it, but at no point did it feel natural. It felt like I was struggling to play the game, but in case you were curious, here's a racing game on PlayStation Now for PC. Another genre that could be challenging, and that's why I wanted to include it in this video, are fighting games. So here we have Mortal Kombat XL. This is the first game that I tried for PlayStation Now for PC. Because of that, I wanted to make sure I could see how it looks, how it feels, how it plays, and surprisingly enough, in contrast to Motorstorm Apocalypse, I really did not mind playing this at all. I don't know why, maybe it's because I played Mortal Kombat in the past, so I was a little bit more familiar with it, even though that in no way means I'm good at this game. So please judge it based on how it looks and any delay, but don't be watching this right now for expert gameplay. I played this in both windowed mode and full screen, and honestly, I would strongly suggest that if you try PS Now for PC, you do it in windowed mode because it's 720p. When you have it in a much smaller fashion, the games actually end up looking nicer, crisper, and even seem to run better as a whole. And that's really important because say you're playing on an old laptop that maybe you can't even do YouTube in 720p or 1080p, maybe PlayStation Now would chug if you put it on full screen, but windowed, it does seem to run a little bit better. Another game I wanted to include, because I talked about it in an Xbox Game Pass video, is Double Dragon Neon for the PS3. I played that game on Game Pass and I beat it, and that was a downloadable version. So switching to PS Now for PC, I was able to compare, and I definitely think that downloadable is the way to go. I talked about this on the PS Now for PS4 review as well, where this game has a counter mechanic where you have to time things just right so that way you can dodge and get some bonus damage on your opponents. And I kept getting hit and hit and hit on and on and on, and that got very annoying. But I felt like I had to focus a lot more on my controller and the latency than my overall enjoyment of the game. This game is very, very punishing. So if you want to do something that's a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more forgiving, that is not so input driven, I think that's fine. But with these games, you definitely want to be wary that you're not going to get the best experience. And we talked about Blood-Borne, which is a PS4 exclusive. So now let's talk about Infamous. This is a game that I played and beat on my PS3. I still have my original copy, and I wanted to include the first minutes of this game just in case anybody was curious. So how does this run? I think a really challenging thing about the service is that sometimes some games do not run great, but it's not because of PS Now, but at that moment, the games just did not perform great to begin with. But I think this is the perfect example of a game that you can play with PS Now and have an awesome time, because it's very forgiving. If you have to grab on a ledge, if you have to be on top of something, the game does try to figure out a way to wiggle you into getting to the right spot. So if you've been dying to play games like Infamous 1 and 2, and you don't have a PS3, and you're definitely not going to get one because a PS5 is just around the corner, PS Now, try it. And another game, and one that really blew me away, God of War 3 Remastered. So God of War 3 is a PS3 game, but they remastered it for the PS4, and it is available on PlayStation Now. Now, keep in mind that games do cycle in and out of the service. I was originally going to talk about Uncharted 4, but as of the recording of this video, it is no longer part of the service. So you got to be very careful, because if a game goes out forever, unless you have a PS4 or a PS3, the console that is tied to the game, you're not going to be able to play it, and that honestly sucks. But going back to God of War 3 Remastered, this is without question the best example as to why PS Now is worth it on PC. I don't know if they optimized this game over other ones, but it looks beautiful. It didn't look as blurry as the other ones, and I was worried about the input latency, but surprisingly enough, I was able to play just fine, to the point that initially I was going to play maybe like 20 minutes or so for footage, and I just kept playing the game to the point that I forgot that I was playing games on PlayStation Now for PC. So that right there tells you that, look, when the game clicks, when the connection strikes and it's really nice, PlayStation Now for PC is a really solid experience. And now that you've seen footage of games running on PS Now for PC, the question is, do I think it's worth it? Honestly, yeah. Is it the best option? No. Is it the definitive video game experience for exclusive games on PlayStation? No. But say you're somebody that doesn't have a PS2, 3, 4, maybe you don't care about that. They could give it to you for $100, but you're a PC gamer first and only, and you don't want to have a clutter, and you don't want to have to connect a bunch of things. This works for the games in the service. Going back to Uncharted 4, that was part of the service, and then they took it away. What I appreciate about services like Xbox Game Pass, if a game is from Microsoft, you don't have to worry about that game going away. So I thought it was really, really weird that they added Uncharted 4 as an incentive, and I played it, and it looked freaking great. It was like God of War 3 Remastered, so I'm like, okay, I gotta talk about this. Oh, wait a minute. So by February, it's already gone? So it creates this unnecessary pressure, and that does bring this down a couple of notches. But if you look at the library, which is very expansive, and you have your expectations in check that, look, they do not add a lot of games. When you look at what's hot, what's new, not a lot of things get added, and Sony has not done the best job at just letting you know, hey, this is going to be happening. But I do envision a future, especially with the PS5, where maybe they do go all in and go deeper and continue to add games for PlayStation Now. And the best part is, if they keep it the way it's running right now, whether you're playing it on PC or PS4, it is still the same library. So that has been a look at PlayStation Now for PC. Let me know if you'd like to see some more coverage about the service on the channel. There are so many games that I could do a monthly video recapping some of my favorite picks and we would still not finish. I think this is an awesome thing for hidden gems or underrated titles you didn't even know about. Like a quick example is a game called Fuel Overdose on the PS3. I looked at the cover, it seemed interesting, I began playing it, and it's like a top-down twisted metal racing game with some grappling mechanics and some fighting type stuff, and I was blown away. But because it was a racing game and it did have a slight delay, I enjoyed playing it for what it was, but not for what I knew the experience would have been if I downloaded the game. So let me know, because I love the service. I think it has a lot of potential. But if you like this video and you like what I do, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hit on that thumbs up, hit on that notifications bell so that way you can be notified when new videos are available, and go down to the comment section and once again let me know, what do you think about PS Now for PC? And up until next time, thank you for watching and supporting, and take care everybody.